Hello, and welcome back to part two of Enchanted review. And how the Lord has literally just showed me the physical manifestation and what it looks like going from everything that we have expected from our kingdom marriages and the reality of the restoration and the financial restoration and inheritance proposals, all of this through this movie that we have sat down and we've been in preparation for, but we have not yet seen it. This movie represents manifestation. This is what we've been praying for coming into reality. And how what it looks like in the spirit realm is not what it's going to look like in reality. And the fact that we're going to have to let go of some things in order for that to work when it comes to manifestation. So, picking up where we left off, she's finally coming to reality and she's disoriented. I remember when I first left Baltimore and left and went to New York. When I landed in New York, the first thing that happened to me is disorientation. First, I was whimsically happy. Yay, I finally made it to New York. Then reality hit. Now what? What am I doing? Where am I going, Lord? Where are you leading me to? You told me that go forth and leave your father and mother's house and go to where the Lord has shown you to go. You listen to God and you feel like, yes, God, we're going to get there and we're going to do this together. And then God drops you in a place and you're like, hold up. You didn't tell me about this part. What you mean? Hold on, reality. Check. What are you talking about? I'm going to have to do this in order to stay in this place? You never said that. I'm going to have to do what? You never said that. I thought you had everything lined up for me. What you mean? Because you didn't allow me to get the money together before I left. You promised you was going to provide for me when I got to where I was. What you mean this is provision for right now? Wait, you're showing me that you're taking me over here. Reality. Check. God will tell you, oh, I'm taking you to Brooklyn. Oh, I'm taking you here. Oh, I'm taking you. You're going to do this. And this is going to be beautiful. And this is going to fall into the manifestation. And increase is going to happen. And you're going to sit there and you're like, yes. And it's like, as soon as you get kicked into that reality, it's like, whoa. What you mean? This is reality. So when she comes out of the manhole, she's surrounded by New York. And she has to cross the street, which she never had to do before. And she's like, what in the world? And people are like, get out the street. And she's all spun around and she's looking around and she doesn't know where she is. And she's like, what in the world? Oh my God, what is this? I had that moment too. When I was waiting for the Lord to bring forth the manifestation of what it is that He desired for me to have in that day. When I sat down on the bench and I was like, I'm going to wait because you said that now that I'm here, you're going to show me which way you want me to go. And then the reality hit and I'm like, oh my God, where am I going? What are you doing? And I was right where I was supposed to be because I was supposed to go to the church across the street. I just didn't know that at the time. And the Lord sent somebody to lead me to the church across the street. And I went to the service for that night. In this female's case, she was spun around and she ends up in all of this traffic and all these people walking around and she's confused and she's scared and she doesn't know what in the world to do. And I remember I'd been in New York for about a month at this point. And it was, what is it? No, I'd been there about 3 months and I went over to that exact same street level. It was 34th Street. And when I tell you, it was holiday time and the mosh of people. I never want to go to 34th Street on whether it be the parade day or whether it be Christmas. Heck no. When I tell you, it's like wall to wall people. To walk 5 blocks, it will take you a whole day because it's just that many people walking. You literally have to walk in stores just to stop the continual push to keep moving forward. It's ridiculous if you've never experienced that. I don't know if it's like that now because with the other thing that has happened, it may actually be easier to walk around that time of year. But man, it was crazy. That first year I was there, I was like, what? What is this? Anyway, that's what she got caught up in. And she got caught up in that. And she ended up in an alley and she was like, ended up talking to a young man, an old guy that was homeless on the street. And he snatched her crown from her wedding dress off and took off with it. So she'd never been robbed before. I remember my first experience. But that's another story. It's a level of reality where it don't feel good. There's a pain, there's a suffering there, and it's like, wait, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. You're looking for your valiant knight to come save you and sweep you away, and he doesn't show up. So she goes and she starts knocking on a billboard that looks like a castle door. Meanwhile, you've got, I forgot what his name was. We just gonna call him the lawyer because when we first meet him, he is a divorce attorney that's trying to mitigate African American couples' divorce proceedings over little property. And he's been there all day and he's ready to leave. So as he's preparing to leave, he's talking to his assistant, and his assistant's like, are you ready for this? And he's been saying it's about time. And he goes, gets in the car with his daughter. He has a little girl, and he's been thinking about getting engaged to this other woman. But this other woman, the daughter doesn't like her. And you can tell from the way that he's starting to talk and the way that she's listening to him that she doesn't like this woman, not in that way. And she knows that whatever he's about to say is not going to be favorable if it comes to pass the way that he thinks. But when she looks out the window, she sees Elsa knocking on the door of the billboard. She's like, Dad, do you see that? And he's like, it's a strange woman knocking on a bill. What in the world is that? So the daughter jumps out the cab at the corner of the street. And he's like, no, don't jump out the cab. So she runs up to the bottom of the billboard, and the woman's still standing there knocking on the door. This is fantasy meeting reality. She sees something that's familiar to her. This is what we do. We reach for things when we are in situations and scenarios that do not feel good to us. We reach for familiarity. Me going to the church that night was familiar to me. Me being in a church made me feel safe. Because I knew that church was a safe place for me. And God would meet me wherever I went. But it was still a level of warfare there that I had never experienced before. And Elsa's dealing with a level of spiritual misunderstanding that she's never experienced before, because she's never had to deal with the solidity of reality. She's been in the whimsical world. And she ends up slipping and falling directly into this man's arms, much like she did when she fell into the prince's arms in the animated world. And she's asking, who are you? Where are you from? Can there somebody I can call for you? And she's like, if you called, I don't think he wouldn't be able to hear you because he's too far away. Because they don't use phones. Phone is not a thing in her world. So what ends up happening is he says, all right, well, I'm going to take you back and you can use the phone at my place. And she was like, okay, but she's explaining the story the whole time that they're on their way back to the apartment complex. And the daughter's just, wow, because she's never seen somebody wearing a big dress like a princess ever before. So she's just like enamored. And the father's like, no, 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 no. You're going to call this person and you're going to tell them to come get you. And that's going to be that. So he's very straight-laced. A while ago, I told you about the path of logic is a liar. This is where the path of logic meets spiritual things. Logic says everything must be one way. But spiritual things, when following the Lord's will and direction for your life, says what's logical is not going to get you where you're trying to go. It's literally going to keep you out of where I'm trying to take you. And he was dealing with that because logic, because he was operating in the path of logic, call the person, get out of here. That's it. And the daughter is more whimsical. The daughter was like, I think she should stay. So she goes, takes her bath, gets herself together, and the girl's sitting on the couch and is starting to fall asleep. But he's trying to figure out how he can find a way to get a phone number to get her out of there, to get a car service to be gone, because he doesn't have time for it. Because he didn't need that in his life in that moment. Which brings us back to the kingdom marriage part. Some of your spouses are living lives that you coming in at the point in time in which the Lord's going to insert you into their lives is actually going to shake up what they thought they were going to deal with or do at that time. Because in some cases, your God-ordained spouse is free and clear. But at the point in time in which, and this doesn't mean that, this, I believe, is that point. Some of y'all have met your God-ordained spouses, kingdom partners. You've met them, but they were already involved in some type of situation. There's been multiple confirmation words to state that a lot of people, their God-ordained spouse was probably in the middle of something when they saw them. They seen you. They may not have interacted with you, but they seen you. They may even have followed you on social media. You didn't know they were following you. But Dr. G released a word back about 9 months ago where she said, your ordained spouse is following you. Matter of fact, they seen you. Some of them got photographs of you. They got them in their phone. And the situation they already in, meaning whoever they was with at that particular point in time when they seen you, and when they started following you, kept a photograph of you, started to really contemplate you, that person that they were already involved with found out about it. Maybe they was going through their phones. I'm trying to figure out Now, for some strange reason, an advertisement keeps coming up on my phone for a tracker, a phone device tracker to track your unfaithful partner. And I'm like, one, I'm not dating anybody. Two, I would never use a tracker like that. Three, what? I don't think like that. And it was funny because I'd be on Instagram and there would be these wonderful, it would be like some nice little cute little you know how Instagram gets you caught up in the quotes? It would be a diorama of 7 or 8 quotes, and then it would be talking about this tracker, and I'm like, what is this? It keeps coming up. Some of y'all God ordained spouses have females in their life that tracked everything that they did. I mean, everything that they did. And it's like, to me, that's the most, one, what's the word I'm looking for? Intrusive, untrustworthy, violation of a person's personal space and privacy that you could ever do to somebody. It puts a bad taste in my mouth, and I would never do that to anybody. I used to have a friend. She wasn't this type of person. What she had an issue was that she would open she's the type of person that would probably open her man's phone, but until somebody did it to her. One of the people that she was with. And would not leave her alone. And it's that element. If a person does not trust you to that degree, I remember when I was in my previous relationship, the guy left his phone in the house all day, and I never touched it. It stayed directly where he left it. Never touched it. I was just not that type of person. He used to leave journals with his personal information in it. He would always tell me where it was, but I never had the inkling or desire to be that type of chick that was going to dig through and look in it. I think he wanted me to, though, because of the way he always used to emphasize where this stuff was. And sometimes I think that he used to leave the phone there on purpose for the same reason. My friend one day picked the phone up and was like, "You never looked?" I was like, "No. I trust him," and he had proven to be untrustworthy. But even yet, still, with what I had seen, I still wasn't the type of person that's going to pick your phone up and go through it. My thing is this: you're a grown person. I don't care what age you are. You know what you're doing. Why in the world do I got to track you down? Because it's an old saying, what you do, if I'm looking for it, I'm going to find it. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. Even if it ain't there, you're going to find something that looks like it is. Okay? Moving past this point, getting back to the story. He ends up putting, letting her sleep there overnight. And as he's letting her sleep there overnight, what ends up happening is she wakes up early the next morning. And when she wakes up early, she does what she normally does. There are things and behaviors that you've done in your previous lifestyle that won't work where you're going. Let me tell you, let me repeat that. There are things in your previous lifestyle that you used to do that will not work where you're going. She opened the window and started to sing, and all of the animals, and I mean every animal, from the little teeny water bugs, decipher that, to the moths, to the flies and mosquitoes, to the birds, to the chipmunks, rats, all of them came in that apartment because she started singing. One, what are you inviting into your house? You are in a new place. Do not invite old things, old habits, old animals, little foxes, things from your past into your new thing. Calling yourself trying to clean something up. Because she went and cleaned the whole house using the birds, she went and did it. Because that's what you do, remember? That's what you do in the whimsical animated realm. That don't work here. This man came into his living room and saw rats. He saw insects. He saw birds. He saw everything in his living room and freaked out. He started putting everything and throwing everything out the window. This don't work. This don't work in this reality. So, what happens next? He goes into the bathroom to start complaining at her. You can't be doing that. What are you doing? As the birds are happily wrapping her in a towel. And she's like, oh my God, I've never experienced water pressure and water like that. Oh my goodness. Because in her world, it was not there. And here comes Nancy. Because the door starts knocking and the daughter goes running to go answer the door. And she comes in right as something happens to make Elsa fall into this guy's lap. And it happens right when Nancy's walking in the room. How do I put this? For some scenarios, I don't think it's going to be this literal. But what the guy has going on in his reality, you coming in is going to, one, knock him off his feet, literally, but it's going to show him in a very immediate way that what he had going on and what he's being pushed into, going back to what Dr. G said in her word, that the person that is sitting next to him, or was, because some of these men have already let this other person go. So some of y'all don't have to worry about this, but some of them are letting them go simultaneously. 3 words came up to me in the past 2 days. And what they was there's a changing of chairs, and there is a prophetic poetry released a word stating it's time. These people that have been sitting in that space could not leave until you showed up. So by her being there, it meant now was time for this woman that he's has been holding this space to leave. And she took off running when she saw this woman in her man's lap. He gets up and grabs her and says, wait. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. And she's like, what am I supposed to think? And she starts screaming and hollering and da-da-da-da-da. And Elsa, she's still in the whimsical world, not understanding. This is a situation that you keep your mouth shut and stay out of and let him deal with. She come interrupting, talking about the shower is so water pressury. You have no idea what's going on over there. It's something that I had to say right here. There are things going on in your God ordained spouse's life that you may be able to see them on social media. You may be able to see them at a distance that you have no idea what's going on in their personal life. And because we are in this state of kingdom marriage and God's got us, the hills are alive with the sound of kingdom marriage. And we are preparing and we are cleaning up and we are doing things and everything is lovely over here. They got some real issues going on behind closed doors that you cannot see. That if you were there, you would be in the way. And you've been wondering, why am I not over there? Everything looks good. My life looks like trash and turmoil over here. Why am I not over there? And God's saying, because you'd be in the way. And that's exactly what she was in this moment. In the way. She was blocking up his ability to deal with what was actually happening. Because guess what? If you were there when this other person was there and he was trying to still deal with that other person, you would be in the way. You'd be observing, you'd be praying, you'd be trying to fix this problem spiritually, and it'd be like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know why that scenario is happening the way it's happening. You don't know what all this is. God gave me a very clear picture in relation to what's going on with me, because I kept seeing something from my side in relation to his side, and I was like, why is this happening? Oh my goodness. I was freaked out and angry, and the Lord brought somebody to me to be an intermediary, not for him, but to spiritually give me eyes to see with God that you're not in the right place to understand why you're seeing what you're seeing. And when I sat down and I did a 15-day consecration, at the end of that 15 days, God gave me answers in relation to what it was that I had been seeing that left me suffering and pain, because I realized what really was going on. And then the Lord started to give me dreams, to give me revelation in relation to that situation. And I was like, that's why I couldn't be there. This is way deeper than what I thought it was. And I was not mature enough to understand that I couldn't be there during that. And all of the pieces start to fit together. Why I had to leave, why certain things had to happen the way that they happened, certain danger. It was a mess. Knowing that I never was physically interacted with my man, but he knew of me. Much like what Dr. G was saying, they know of you, and so does that person. And it was causing certain confusions that actually could have put them in danger if you were in the picture. Put you in danger if you were in the picture. So he takes off running after the woman, and she jumps in the cab and didn't even take any time to talk to him at this particular point in time. And he comes back and he's like, I can't with you. She done tore up all of his curtains in his house and made a dress. And he says, I'm going to take you, we're going to figure out where you need to go because this can't continue. You're messing up everything I got going on there. God will mess up your plans any day to give you the opportunity to get into a new thing. Some of y'all, when your manifestation of y'all relationship, Dr. G did a great word. It's keys to the kingdom. It's called, it's something about Adam, the Adam something, and it's a long title, but she talks about how some of y'all God ordained spouses are going to reject you at first because of the fact of the things that they're coming out of emotionally dealing with, that they might be repelling you because they're like, I can't deal with this. I can't do this. I can't. No, not right now. There's too much going on. They may reject. I'm gonna see if I can link that up with this word. This word is just about this part of this word is just about over. And with that being said, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot to this, and as crazy as it is, this is what manifestation looks like. Manifestation does not look perfect. Manifestation does not look like you would think that it's supposed to look. It's going to be a little insane. It's going to be a little bit out of order. It's going to be. But you're going to find your place in that, and you're going to balance as you are adjusting to the new beginning. Rosh Hashanah is here. Is it Rosh Hashanah? Yeah, I believe it's Rosh Hashanah, which is the new beginning that is coming. And as it manifests, it's going to bring about a shift that is going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to have to walk with it. Okay? So take that time and adjust. This is Taj Cameron for Much Love, Faith, Peace, and Blessings Ministries. And we're going to continue in the next part.